just
And then
like you don't feel like you need to have like with Windows touch the situation. Like actually one thing I just like many things like where I would say there's like I don't know where this issue comes from, but I don't like actively but like there's like some things where I think okay it's like not it's so but for example I guys they did a TV or something but this were the total Muslim guys very different and it's like
okay.
when there's like for example there's a group of guys
Okay. So I forgot your name again. Huh? I forgot your name again. So SOGOL. SOGOL. Yeah. Now I remember. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hello everyone. Can we have your attention? Can we have your attention, please? Okay. I think we can just keep it this way. Yeah. Okay. Is everyone able to see the presentation? Yes. Do you have writer? Or like, do you feel this is like better? Like, start the projectors up there and we have another. Okay. It's just like for the foresight. Okay, Helen. Yes, your best. No, yeah, I wanted to like start off by I wanted to start off by saying thank you, Helen, for already giving me feedback on the presentation. Yes. Like Helen is did not only come here for the vibes, she came here to like see keep you in check. That's right. Give me feedback in the future. Yeah. No. You guys are being flexible with the nine. Yeah, no, very good question. Are photos allowed? Yes. Big pictures. Yeah, I have appreciated. Pictures are appreciated. Any pictures. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, introducing the Women in Ethereum Protocol Study Group. Okay. Okay. So basically, we're going to talk about the concept of why we started this study group and what it aims to achieve. We're going to talk about our cohort 1, which just ended recently. There are some people who are still working on their issues. So I wouldn't say ended, but kind of, we are in a good place to get some insights from this particular cohort. What are our insights? That's what we're going to talk about. And information about our next cohort. Okay. Okay. I'm liking this energy, and I hope that with every slide we get this. Okay. So the approach that we started with for the first cohort or the current cohort that's going on is that we have weekly sessions. So we meet every Friday for an hour to talk about GitHub issues. So the idea of this cohort is it's actually a study group, but we are not studying anything much. We are just directly jumping into solving issues hands-on. These issues are GitHub issues on repositories that are aligned or around the Ethereum ecosystem. So our main aim and why this is called the Women in Ethereum Protocol Study Group is for women to eventually start contributing to the core protocol itself. That could involve like the consensus layer, the execution layer, or client-side stuff that which are where some popular work is going on. But right now, our aim is to get people to start becoming comfortable, to start contributing to repos that have information around Ethereum, right? So we meet every Friday. We talk about the issues that we have assigned to people. We take repositories from with the help of Pooja and Latona and other folks in the ecosystem. So we get their help. We get some repositories. We have started with an easy repository called EIPW, which is a bot for EIPs. And Yeah, we just meet every week 1 hour. We don't actually handhold anyone to solve these issues, but we talk about what is their progress been so far, what are their blockers, and how can we help them move forward. So these are the things we talk about, and then we people who are already working on the issues can actually cross pollinate and talk about what are the issues that they're facing and how others can help them. That's the aim of these weekly sessions. And another important thing is that we make sure that to start out, at least for the first couple of cohorts, we want to pair people so that there is accountability in terms of like, hey, did you do this work? Did I need some help kind of thing. And then, if you're stuck somewhere, you have someone to talk to. So we assigned each issue in pairs and we have seen that it worked well. And, it's good for accountability. And this helps you sort of the aim of this, the umbrella aim is to help you prepare to contribute to any kind of open source. Like right now we are talking about Ethereum and that in itself is a huge, there are huge number of repositories in this, but just the process of doing this will help you understand how you can start contributing in any open source repositories. So yeah, Lena, do you have anything to add?
I think. I think that's our approach. I think there will be more learnings that I will have, but I think that was what we wanted to achieve, and that was our approach. And then we had 41 people that were interested in participating in the study group, and as you can see, we have many people from India. And then we have a very strong representation from Nigeria, also coming from the Starknet,
Women of Starknet.
Starknet.
Yeah.
Great job. A little bit of Germany, a little bit of US.
Germany and Lisbon.
And then we also have Kenya and Turkey, very strong builders from Turkey, United Emirates, Spain, UK, and Portugal. But that was actually good. It was like from Portugal.
What was the final number of persons?
We will come. Let's get to the numbers. I'll have all the numbers. And this is just like the overview of like how much experience people have. We have some very experienced people, developers. Like it's very like spread out, but we also had a lot of beginners, even though we promoted the study group as intermediate, but we had a lot of people that were beginners and like where we still have to like understand a bit better how to like work with different levels of knowledge. But yeah, we had 41 applications. We had overall like 14 consistent participants. We already have 3 closed issues and 5 pull requests that are like almost matched. So every group that started an issue also is right now closing it. So that's it was really amazing. So especially to the accountability thing, I think it was so hard for so many people. It was the first time they did Rust and everything, and then they just they came back. And they because also they had this feeling they had to like support the other person in the team, and that was really cool. To see how well it worked. Our insights. What were insights that we got?
So the main thing was that we realized that a lot of people, even the experienced ones, haven't actually contributed to open source before. So they have to figure out like how do you navigate like creating pull requests. How do you navigate asking questions on the issues that are already there on GitHub? Because these are new things. People generally feel like overwhelmed to, just post a message where it's like quite publicly visible, which is GitHub, right? It's open source. So I think that was one major issue that we had to navigate. Like it took 2 weeks for us to just push people to be like, ask your questions on the GitHub issue. Like, don't ask it here on Discord or Telegram. Just ask it on the issue and someone will respond. I think that mindset change was very important for us. So that we, that was one of the main insights that as more people come in also, we need to first get them comfortable to start working on like GitHub issues itself as a concept. And then I think this is like a repo dependent thing. So the first repository that we dealt with was heavily relying on Rust. And then there was like linking, which was one of the major themes of the issues. So I think these were some new concepts that people were not familiar with. Most people are actually not Rust developers. Even experienced developers develop in C++ or Java if they come from, big MNC background. So this was a struggle, and it still continues to be a pain point, I think. And this will, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, finish.
No, I was just saying that, so this repository was Rust, but the main idea that we want to kind of inculcate is that like it doesn't matter, there'll be different repositories with different programming languages. And as you start becoming familiar with the repository itself, if you know any one programming language, you will be able to deal with that repository. So you just need to spend some time, go through the repository and, don't worry about the programming language. That was the overarching theme that we were going with just in terms of the study group. And it did sit well in a way, but Rust is fairly complex, so it was a bit difficult. And I think also this inspired few of them to also start learning Rust as a way to, get more opportunities in that space. So that was good.
Yeah.
Question, what would you, like, it's for everyone, what would you recommend for studying Rust? Are there any courses?
So it depends on, for me, like from what I have observed from an educational perspective, everyone has a different style of learning. But from a developer perspective, the best way is to just straight on get hands-on. Like, so for example, there is a tutorial called Rust Links, which is what I refer to be the first point of entry into Rust. So you go into Rust Links, you clone the repository, so you learn how to deal with GitHub and all of that. And it starts very small. It starts with you removing a line. It starts with you adding a line, adding a comment. That's literally your first thing that you're dealing with. So these kind of tutorials are very well made and they allow you to look at code, I would say like in a slowly incremental way. Like first you look at a small piece of code, then you look at a bigger piece of code. So you have some context that's added on. Then you look at a bigger piece of code, you have some context that's added on. So I would, if you are into like development and you want to just like get started, I would say just get started with the tutorials. And then as you complete that, then you can start looking at like different types of code, start contributing and just, make your way forward. For a programming language, for me, I feel like this is the best approach.
I think also you, I agree with that. And wrestling is perfect for anyone to start because it's super simple to start and you get used to build Rust code. You can get used to GitHub about that. And then you can, if you want to understand more about the concept of the language, you can just read Rust code.
Rust book, yeah.
Yeah, there is the official documentation and it's
It's perfect, yeah. And then there's also Rust book with examples where you can run the examples within the Rust book. And then you have Rust with examples which is also very well written, where you have use cases where you will use Rust. So they give you the entire code for that particular use case. For example, build a server. So you build a client side, you build a chat bot or something like that. And then you build a client side, you build a server side, you know how both of those components work, how the components talk to each other. So there are like, I think all of these hands-on resources that are really good. I have a list, I'm supposed to send it on Discord for the Women in the Interior Protocol Discord, but I just haven't gotten time to, but I will make it on my to-do list to do it.
Yeah, what I just wanted to add to the insight was like, yes, people needed help with technical solutions, but I think the main push and output was really that people needed this encouragement, like to learn the open source contribution, especially like in Ethereum Foundation, like just to follow. So we didn't create a Telegram group. People had to write in Discord and like we really pushed them to like discuss their issues publicly. And it was really cool to see how there's like a lot of conversation happening. And then we also pushed them to like, they had to learn to like even reach out to say like, I want to own this issue or something, and then they still came to us with question. We were like, please ask this question in your GitHub issue, because that way you will get an answer. And that was the main job that we had, to like tell people where to ask questions and how to get started, like these steps. And yeah, that was cool. I feel like in the end, and they had so much energy and passion. So like,
I think this also creates opportunities and gets involved.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, we consciously took this approach because generally, otherwise Lena and I just jump directly into debugging stuff, that if you're stuck somewhere, we are here for you, we will help you write your code. But we consciously stepped out of this and be like, hey, like, you have a question, you ask it on the GitHub issue, because
Yeah.
in a normal life scenario, that's what you will do. Yeah. So, and I think it's
I think, this where gender doesn't matter at all.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
but
doesn't.
I just know from like myself also, I would never have done that, or like,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
never do, like, I think it's like, I'm really, like, I think that's like one of the main issues that I see in a lot of women and myself, of like, not wanting to have these public discussions,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
wanting to like,
Yeah, feeling like it would be wrong. Like,
Yeah.
if we say something wrong, then.
People, maybe not jumping out from GitHub.
Yeah, they can't, that's the thing, and also the important thing is that, like, we are literally on a level playing field, like, we have to go out there and we are competing with everyone, irrespective of whoever is there on the other side, so we might as well take the first step and be like, hey, like, I'm here and I am like into this race, right? So unless we showcase ourselves that we are into this, like, people will always feel like, no, there are not enough women, but women are there. It's just that they need that push to take the first step to showcase that they're there.
okay, and then here we have a little like how people felt overall about the study group.
That's good.
I think everybody felt okay about
Okay,
it. Most
okay,
of the
yeah.
people felt very good.
That's-
Some people were like in the middle, but they also left some feedback. I think that was more the beginners that didn't feel like, people who didn't have any formal coding knowledge. For them, it was like, that's not the perfect experience, but the goal was, that was also not our goal. And then how well prepared do you feel? And then we also are mostly in the better half. So like, of course, we want to improve to like only perfectly prepared people. But I think for the first cohort, this is like a good distribution. And then
We have some
we wanted
video
to,
testimonials.
To be assigned to
See if you
specific
would-
issues with the driving force itself.
okay, maybe everybody,
As well as,
you,
good
if that's okay, we have
Oh my
some,
God, Katya said, yeah, so maybe we'll just show you.
Hi,
this
everyone.
again because.
My name is Nikita Sansova. I'm a member of the Women in Ethereum Protocol, cohort 1. These past weeks were absolutely amazing. Our wonderful group helped me make my very first open source contribution to the Ethereum protocol. I published my first request. We had weekly calls where we solved our blockers together. The atmosphere was super supportive. It's so important for women. I could relax, ask my silly questions. We helped each other on Discord during the calls. That was fantastic. And we even discussed not only dev stuff, but female stuff. Yeah. So I want to extend a huge thanks to Kayan, Lina, Purja, Ethereum Foundation, and everyone else who supports this program. It is really important for me. Special thanks to Elle Wilson, who provided us technical details, guidance, and even workshops. During the program, I heard about the Ethereum Protocol Fellowship. I applied, and now I'm a happy cohort 5 fellow. So I'm going to continue contributing to the Ethereum Protocol. So ladies, if you want to contribute, feel free to join this wonderful program. Hugs to all the female devs, cheers to all the cohort 5 fellows. I hope to see you all guys on DevCon. So yeah, bye, cheers.
Right. She's gonna show us. Yeah. I know her. I'm a part of Deborah Uni with her in the current cohort.
yeah.
And she's also super active, super involved, doing all the assignments. Yeah, great job. I watch her in space. She's
Yeah, she is so, She is amazing.
How many more slides?
We are almost done. Like, yeah, we will also share the slides maybe after the event. We can send it out to all of you, and so you can also watch the testimonials and everything. I think we just want to talk very quickly about our learnings, and then yeah, we would love for all of you to share like that the second cohort will start in August with everybody who you know who could be interested.
And then we have Jack and Marty from the
Yeah.
group. They're gonna
Yeah,
talk a little bit.
and then after we are done, we'll
Yes.
have also. Yeah, I think
we spoke about this.
we already talked
so,
about the
yeah.
caucus. I think just what we understood was what was most important. What was most important. So the main learning, so most important thing is it was very crucial that we distributed the issues to the people. We just assigned them issues, like because people get lost if you let them do
So we
like
didn't
there was
let
a
them
very
think much.
we
And we
just-
didn't give them too much time to decide like, oh, which one do I want to pick? What do I want to do? We just told them, take this issue, work on it. If it doesn't work for you, drop
Yeah.
it. And
And then we just assigned them in pairs, and we just did that because and that was crucial for a lot of them to just like continue and go through. The accountability partners was very important.
we
and
had
then
a lot of support from
Yeah,
the
Sam.
maintainer of the repo or the person who had created the issues, which we felt was very key. Because in the beginning, things were moving very slowly. But after we started getting the support, things started moving really fast.
Yeah.
And the confidence level of the participants also increased quite a bit.
I think it was also a great example of like feeling normally in a GitHub repository, you're very anonymous and like you talk and like actually meeting somebody, seeing how helpful they want to be and support you and finishing your fast pull request. I think then you're like less scared of like continuing
actually
reaching
asking
out
more
to
questions.
other
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
I think Sam did an amazing job in making everybody feel very comfortable and confident. So based on this, for the next group, we are planning to have each time when we introduce a new repository, we gonna invite the person that is like the maintainer to just give a
Give us
quick
the
walkthrough
walkthrough
of
of the-
how they would solve something and where to find all the resources, because sometimes the documentation is not perfect or they follow a specific style guide, and then it's just good if they can share that with everyone.
Yeah, and then this time we saw that we did there was organically a lot of breakout groups that happened for like GitHub and just in general, like solving the issues together. So I think we should encourage that to happen in the next cohort as well, where just despite whether we meet every Friday, apart from that, people were meeting themselves over the weekends and just co-working together. So that's a culture that we want to keep encouraging.
Yeah.
So people get help from each other. And what is?
No, I think that's like.
Okay. Their own idea when they're to that.
Okay, so what now?
Okay, we're gonna start our second cohort in the month of August. So you can pre-register now. It's gonna be a similar format where we are gonna all work on a repository together. We're gonna assign issues in pairs, and we are gonna have you contribute. And yeah, I hope this time. So last time, just on an average, we took about 6 to 8 weeks. I think almost 8 weeks now, 8 to 9 weeks now with our ongoing series. We earlier estimated 4 weeks to close an issue, but it seems like it took about 2 to 3 weeks to just become familiar with like GitHub issues and all of that. So this time it's going to be faster because people have already done it. So we hope to kind of close the issue in 4 to 5 weeks, and then we open the next one. Hopefully before DevCon we can run.
Yeah, and also I think based on with our learnings that we have now, the cohorts might get faster because
In the beginning to explain the repository, like this basic stuff, like how do you run this repository? How do you, how do you look for making changes? and how do you test your changes? Just three
Yeah.
things, because these are the three things you need to solve a problem. So we will get that, and then if you know other people who would be interested, like we advertise this as a cohort for people who have some programming experience. Otherwise, it becomes very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Learning a new language and all of that is not possible in
Learning
Kobe.
GitHub,
Yeah.
yeah, some people were very overwhelmed, and I
Yeah.
think it's just, we would love for like somebody to volunteer to host like a beginners cohort, but I think.
Yeah, so another thing is EPF also, I think they will talk about it. They also have a study group that they run. So either you could be part of that, or from the Phoenix Guild, we generally run one Ethereum study group per year. So we are likely to start it sometime now, July, August, using the similar material as the ETF wiki. But it will be much slower than how they do it, because that is not for like beginners. We are gonna do it for beginners. So just look out for any of these announcements where you see that, oh, there's a study group that you wanna join. Then you can do the study group and then come. Or if you just have any programming, if you know other people who have some programming language and are not even into Web3, can actually straight away start jumping into this.
Especially back-end developers.
Yeah,
I feel like
especially
back-end
back-end.
developers, I always think they have to learn Solidity or something, but they don't.
Yeah, but they don't.
can just like
Yeah.
jump right in with the existing knowledge and.
Yeah.
populate the rest.
Yeah, so preferably people having some programming knowledge. If you see newbies who are really interested, do send them to register, and then, like, we try to support them as much as we can.
I have a question. I don't remember from the first